Sometimes you have to put up with shit in order to maintain good quality relationships. And if you don't water and take care of that relationship like a plant, like a tree, it will never be able to bear fruit. And sometimes it might be a long process. Sometimes it might take a year or two. But if you keep watering, you keep nurturing, and you keep tending to that relationship, the fruits that come from that tree will be able to sustain life for you and your family. Jose, can you please enlighten the audience on the importance of maintaining relationships and talk to them a little bit about the relationship tree and how to grow one?
And this is something that I used to not be a big proponent of, because I don't like people. And I don't like socializing with people.
Agreed.
And current and recent experiences have been showing that on a day-to-day basis, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
However, there are a few people that we do actually enjoy talking to, and there's a reason we do, because not only do we see eye to eye, but there's some that we don't, because it's not necessarily whether you agree on everything. It's about the value that you can provide. Now, the reason why I wasn't a proponent of relationships and networking and this so-called relationship tree is because I always wanted to go about everything on my own. I always said I can do it on my own. I can fuck everybody. That's not what I meant. Hang on. I had a brain fart because I was thinking about something that Ryan Holiday said about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The fucking everybody. Arnold was fucking everybody. Oh shit! I bet he was though.
Hear me out though,
Mr. Whatever the fuck he was.
So, however, I came to realize that there's nothing that we can do on our own, truly. In order for you to live, unless you're 1000% self-sufficient, even then you need somebody else at some point in time. An example would be if you live off the grid, you have seeds. Well, where did you get the fucking seeds? Somebody most likely bred that crop that you're planting so that you can get the best yield. The buildings, whatever you're getting, the wool, the animals, you're probably purchasing or acquiring them from somebody else. You're working with somebody else. Somebody cuts your fucking hair. Somebody helps you. Somebody built the foundation of the house that you're in. Somebody's maintaining the electrical grid, the water. But Arnold Schwarzenegger, in his speech in a graduating class, he said, "Don't ever, ever call me a self-made man." And the reason he says this is because it's not so much that you didn't put in the work or that you're not the reason for your success. It's that you're not the only one who contributed to your success. You encountered people who helped you or spited you and gave you motivation. You encountered mentors. You encountered people who just supported you. Beautiful women, amazing men, whatever it might be, who helped guide you in the right path. And if you're the type of person that says, no, nobody was there for me, I would argue that the people who were not there for you are exactly the people who helped make you who you are today, because you have the fuel from the spite. And if you really, really want to succeed in life, you need relationships. And you need to understand that when you build one relationship, you're not tapping into just one resource. You're tapping into all of their resources, assuming you built the relationship well. And it spreads like a tree. And if you've ever seen in programming, right, any type of tree or any type of network, there's a bunch of nodes and then there's a bunch of connections among the nodes. Mm-hmm. And basically one node is connected to multiple nodes in most instances. And you can imagine, just like the brain and the neurons, there's infinite amounts of connections. And it really only takes one root node to take you all the way.
Indeed. And that's the thing about people in general. We make a lot of, or we have a lot of preconceived notions and ideas of what people are and who people are before we even talk to them, before we even have, civilized conversation and see how they act, just because they look a certain way or they're talking to someone else, what have you. And sometimes it might be accurate, but you never know who that person knows. You don't know their fucking network. We've met someone that looks like, I don't want to give it up. Let's just say fuck it. It looks like Willy Wonka, right? Yes. I know it's crazy, right? But looks like Willy Wonka, basically. Dresses like him, suits and everything. You might say, what the fuck? I'm not going to talk to this guy. This guy is whatever. I don't know. But come to find out, extremely smart guy and extremely well connected. So when you're talking to someone, you have to keep in mind all the fucking possibilities, doors, and connections that they have and how those could benefit you and how those could help you and vice versa. Because you never know who someone knows, how well they know them, and what they can do for you. Even if you don't necessarily like a person. We talk to plenty of people that would we hang out with just in our spare time? Probably fucking not. But are we cordial enough to where they feel like, oh, wow, Austin and Jose are some great people. And then come to find out if we are in an industry that they have someone that's also in the industry that could help us in whatever fucking thing that we're trying to do because we've maintained that relationship and that fucking, I don't know, is it cordiality or whatever the fuck? Who knows? Because we maintain that, now they'll say, I don't mind connecting them. I don't mind helping them. And sometimes that's all it takes is you just being cordial with the person. You don't have to fucking bend over backwards and do all this fucking crazy ass shit for them. No, sometimes you just have to be somewhat civil and nice to people to where they'll be willing to help you if you asked. And that's the importance of maintaining those relationships with everybody, not just, people who are super, I guess, valuable to you. Or very obviously valuable because, again, you don't know who someone is or what someone has until you talk to them. But another part is, I think a lot of people only think about this relationship tree and watering the relationship and making sure that you take care of it with successful people or people they deem successful. But I think you have to do this with every relationship that you have in your entire life, whether it's friendship, whether it's a sister or a sibling type of relationship, whether it's between you and your parents. You have to do this with every relationship or else the relationship is going to dwindle. And a lot of people think that, oh, it's just my sister or, oh, it's just my mom or, oh, it's just my best friend. I don't have to do shit. We're already friends. So it doesn't fucking matter. I don't have to keep fucking putting effort and work into the relationship. No, that's wrong. You do. Because if you don't, the relationship will crumble. And that's the crazy part about it is, whether you realize it or not, we even do this on a daily basis with little things that we do that maintains our friendship and brotherhood that people would say, oh, that's just regular shit. But no, like something as simple as doing the dishes after someone just worked a fucking overnight shift and was fucking dying overnight. Now, is it a big deal? To you, it might not be. But if you just woke up after doing all that work and you come into the fucking kitchen and the fucking dishes are still in the fucking sink and you have to do them after you just did all that work, it's like, man, fuck, what the fuck? Why didn't Austin do this? But you might not even...
But to a degree, it pisses me off when you would do that because then I'd be like, oh,
yeah, I get that.
So
Yes,
I got to do more.
Yes. I know,
but that's
a
good thing because then it's trying to make me better. But whatever, yeah.
But for most people, that's how you have to kind of tend to the relationship. It might not be with super fucking grandiose fucking things, just simple things that maintain the relationship. And say with parents, for instance, especially as you get older, they don't want you to fucking necessarily buy them the world. Most of the time, all they want is time. They just want some time out of your fucking day, out of your week to spend with you. So in order to maintain that relationship, in order to maintain that happiness that they have when they see you, you're going to have to put in effort in order to do so. And that means spend some time with your parents. Okay? Simple. Same thing with a brother or with a sister or what have you. You have to do the same thing. So with every relationship that you're in, whether you're in a relationship with your girlfriend, your wife, your boyfriend, your husband, your sister, your brother, whatever, make the effort to tend and nurture these relationships. Because if you keep them at a good level, not only does it benefit that person because you're helping them and you're doing things that, lets them know that you still have them in your mind and in your thoughts and in your heart, you also reap benefits in the long term, because now that person hopefully would be willing to do the same thing for you, if not more. That person would be willing to connect dots for you. That person would be able to move, or would be willing to move mountains for you. So I know some people would be like, oh, wait, isn't that kind of fucking selfish, blah, 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 blah. Well, again, if you're helping someone, at the end of the day, you're doing something that they find valuable. You're helping them. If you have some type of motive at the fucking base of it to where, okay, I do want to help this person, but I also can see the benefits in it for me, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Why does something always have to be fucking solely, worth it for that person? Why can't it be mutually fucking beneficial? If it's mutually beneficial, in my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with it. You're getting something out of it, but they're also getting something out of it. And all that you get out of it may not happen overnight, but it's something where it's like a long-term play of, I could get a connection through this person, or I could get something from this person, and I'm going to tend to that relationship, just in case. Not saying that that's what you want, but it could happen. So why not do something good for them? Why not keep track? Why not keep up to date with them?
And there are two consequences to having a relationship tree and having a broad network. And that's one, you're going to be utterly exhausted 90% of the time. And two, you're going to be massively successful in all human endeavors and your capacity to reach and achieve almost anything, from the germination of an idea to the actual fruition of the fruit from that idea, goes up. Now, the first one I want to unpack a little bit, because now, and as you should always be, you should always conduct yourself in a very professional manner and treat people with respect. However, when you have a very extensive network that stems in all areas and all locations that you're always at, whether it be a cafe, your gym, or even walking on the trail outside of your apartment or your house or what have you, your place of residence, now you've increased the risk of your behavior. Meaning that your conduct is even more important than it ever was before, because if people see your behavior different dependent on where you are, you're going to have incongruencies, which means people are going to realize that you're being fake. Or you might not even be fake. They're just going to realize that there is a different part of you that they might not jibe with. And so it's not that you are faking your reality. It's that you are ensuring that your impression remains in a positive manner. And in my opinion, that's being respectful to both yourself, the relationship, and the other person. Now, an example of that is every time we go to the gym, we talk to hundreds, if not thousands of people. That's an overstatement. But basically, like, you can't be in a, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to put my head down, put my hoodie on, and work out. We don't get that luxury. We walk into the gym, we see our buddies, we see business partners, and it's like, boom, 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 boom. How are you? Tell me about your business. Do you have a launch coming up? Boom, boom, boom. Can I get your product? Shout out to Brandon Rivera. What do we got here? Conviction Barbell Club. Shout out, my brother. And so it's things like that where you don't get an off day, you don't get an off time, you don't get an off hour. However, the consequence of that is that any idea you have or anything that you need that you want to get done can get done, because you're one phone call away from getting to a guy or gal or whatever that can help you with whatever you want to do. It could be so simple as, I want to manufacture this coaster. Right? Okay. I'm going to send a text message to Brandon Gorey, and he's going to manufacture the coasters how we need them. I could need a shirt. This style, that style. Boom. I text another Brandon. Right? It gets done. Or, hey, we need custom suits. We make a call. Done. Even if the call that we make doesn't lead to anything, there's a potential that there's a lead from somebody else. And you just have to keep going down the network and the chain and the tree. And the more you build it, the stronger it gets. Hey, I need a tequila. I know who to call. Hey, I need a black-owned whiskey maker. I know who to call. Boom, boom, boom. I need a watch. We know who to call. All of these things become increasingly important, and you just gain the ability to move. Now, I will be honest, a lot of people don't give a fuck about that, Austin. And that's because they just work 9 to 5s and they don't want to do more.
Right.
And that's perfectly fine. However, you fall into a rut and a rat race where you fail to see the value in things that are valuable.
Right.
And you just become a person who just works paycheck to paycheck, isn't concerned about networking, isn't concerned about growing and providing value for other people, because the only value you see is, oh my gosh, I can't wait till Saturday and Sunday so I can watch the new Barbie movie. Whoop-de-fucking-do. That was actually a story a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And lastly, I'll say, we talk about people who get older and have regrets or whatnot pretty often, and how you don't want to have regrets by the time you get older. Well, one way that I'll put this is that, again, you have these relationships, you have these partnerships, you have these friendships, and all of them are like seeds. You plant them and you start to water them, but eventually like, you know what? I don't really feel like it. I'm getting tired. Fuck it. Then someone comes along instead of you and waters those same seeds. And then turns out they continue to water them, continue to water them, continue to water them. And the tree ends up growing. And then turns out it's not just a regular tree. You got a fucking money tree. I would hate for y'all to live life and not feel like doing some shit, not feel like taking care of these relationships and nurturing these relationships. And you miss out on opportunities to expand not only your life, but your parents' life, your family's life, your kids' life, your grandkids' lives, because you don't feel like it. Do we feel like it on a daily basis? Fuck no. I never feel like it. But do I do it? Yes. And it might take some time, again, for you to start seeing the fruits of your labor. But we're starting to see that shit. The tree that we were growing, the relationships that we were nurturing, shit, that looks like a money tree. And we're starting to get some of those funds as they drop from the fucking tree limbs. Mm-hmm. So you have to nurture these relationships if you want to improve and do well in life, because they can take you from this level to this level. And you can only go so far in life by yourself. So nurture those relationships and they'll nurture you.
And let's be clear here. You have to give more than you receive.
Mm-hmm.
You should never approach any relationship or any circumstance or any networking event or networking intention with, what do I get? Mm-hmm. You should first think, what can I help you with?
Right.
And then cycle back and think, all right, cool. Now how are you going to help me? And we've actually done a really good job of this recently. And that bottle of tequila sitting on our counter is an example. We didn't know how we were going to receive help, but we had an idea of how we were going to help, right? 30-minute conversation later, we already had a strategy for how to help. And then 30 minutes later, we were having a conversation about what we need to do for our next steps for our company, led by that individual. And he was very, very well spoken and very clear. And he gave us some very good advice. That's a perfect example. Sure, we were like, all right, cool. We know we can get something out of this, but let's not even think about that. Let's go straight to the action, straight to the helping, straight to see how we can lend a helping hand. Because when you look out for other people, they'll look out for you.
Right.
Now, there's exceptions to that, and there's shit people. But I would rather get burned and do well than never do well at all and never get burned.
Exactly. And again, it's just like a fucking fruit tree, a peach tree or something like that, right? If you have a plant or you've had a plant before, you know that you have to fucking take care of that thing all the fucking time. Make sure it's properly watered. Make sure it doesn't have some type of fucking, I don't know what to call it. Do you call it like a disease or something that could be affecting the plant? Yeah, you can get a virus, you can get bacterial diseases, whatever it is, yeah. That could be affecting the plant and its leaves. You have to take care of it. You have to tend to it.
Shit, what do you... Insects.
Exactly. And you have to fucking fend off the insects, all that stuff. You have to put in so much fucking work for that plant to grow up and then produce maybe fucking, 10 fucking peaches. And then after that, it's fucking, done, whatever. Or it might take some time to produce more, or, It's just a time consuming process that you have to expend more fucking effort than you might get back in fucking fruits that come from it. So just like with any relationship, you're probably going to have to do a lot more than what you would receive in return. But again, doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. And you're still getting something in return, something unique, something specific to you and what you need, something that you wanted or that you didn't know that you even fucking needed. And it might take some more work from you, but also builds you as a person, also builds that tree up, also builds that relationship up. And now you are both able to succeed and function in society. And I think that is something that you can be proud of.
An orchard tree takes 10 to 12 years to bear fruit.
10 to 12 years.
So if you really think that talking to one or two people at happy hour about your side hustle of doing this or doing that is going to take you places and that they're going to be your first customers and they're going to get you to the right, shut the fuck up. You're being ignorant. And I'm telling you because we've been there and we've been delusional, but we've realized that the people that you don't want to talk to are the people that you need to talk to.
Exactly. And think of it this way, bro. We still don't know for sure if it's going to happen. But this lady, it's been 2 years since we've been nurturing this relationship, since I first got this from her. 2 years. And now she's in a position to help us with something. 2 years. Now, what if we got tired and just said, you know what, fuck it, oh, that's cool, or I'll just go shop with someone else, or I'll go to another store, or I won't even check in with her, whatever. Then nothing would have came from it. But now, because we're, again, good clients, recommended her clients, always checked in with her, kept her up to date, asked her if she was in, all this stuff, now she's willing to take care of us. It's because we've been nurturing that relationship for 2 years that now she will be able to connect us with people that we might not even fucking know exist with gobs of fucking money. So again, it might take some time, but it's worth it. 1000% fucking worth it. Especially, all it takes is that one person, that one relationship, that one plant that could change your life and feed your family for the rest of your life. You just have to keep nurturing them.
The AM Club Podcast.
Signing up. Mic check.
The AM Club Podcast.